What's up everybody, JJ Shankles, the Goat Toasters here. Hope y'all are having an amazing day out there. Today we've got a very special monitor review. We're talking ultra-wide monitors. This one's the LG 34GK950F-B. For me personally, this is the monitor that does everything very well. It's got your ultra-wide 21:9 aspect ratio. It's a high pixel density screen. It's 1440 pixels tall, so you get a lot of clarity in your pictures. It's a Nano IPS screen, so the color accuracy is very good. And on top of all that, it's 144 Hz refresh rate, so it's very good for gaming. So that makes this kind of good at everything. It's good for gaming with that high refresh rate. It's good for productivity and content creation because it's very good color accuracy and very high pixel density. So that's your general overview. Now let's break down those specs and see what it actually means. I think all of these features make it a huge upgrade from my previous ultra-wide monitor. Previously, I had an older LG Ultrawide. It also had 144 Hz refresh rate, so it was great for gaming, but it only had a 1080p pixel vertical screen resolution. So when you were reading text, or if you looked very close at all, you could definitely see the individual pixels from a moderate distance. And so small text was kind of hard to read. Another downside to the other one was the contrast ratio and the color accuracy. Until I got this color checker. This is the Data Color Spider X Pro. It really helps with color calibrating monitors, especially after an older one you've had for several years. It seems like the colors start to shift and things just didn't look as good as the first day I got it out of the box. And then after I color calibrated it, it definitely looked better, but it still didn't cover that full sRGB color gambit like this one does. Right out of the box, it looked really good, and then I color calibrated it, and now it looks amazing. Another benefit with some newer monitors over older ones is how bright it is. This one I set to only 50% brightness, and that's about as bright as my older one got. This one, they say it has about 400 nits brightness, so it's very good in a very bright setting like this. I've got this huge window here which lets in a lot of light in the morning and throughout the day, so it's important to have a monitor that can keep up with that brightness and you'll still be able to actually see it. There is an anti-glare texture on it, which is a nice feature to have. Tea time. I did want to talk for a little bit about how much I enjoy using ultra-wide monitors. This extra width on a monitor really helps in a lot of situations. Here's an example of using two different windows you can have open at the exact same time, and you get about a square aspect ratio, which works really well for web pages, being able to scroll through two things, or having your Excel spreadsheet on one side and your document you're working on the other screen, without having two separate monitors with this bezel in the middle. Everything works much smoother when it's all on one monitor. It's just a really fluid workflow that I find really increases my productivity. I have seen some comments online of people saying they don't like these ultra-wide monitors for video editing, and that's where I love using this top-down setting. I've got a regular 4K monitor up top, and then with my ultra-wide down below, I can keep the full timeline down here to be able to move around from different parts. And then up top, I have the actual output. I think this specifically just works really well with video editing. I also like this monitor setup for casual gaming, where I can be playing a game down below and then watching YouTube up top, where I'm kind of playing the game and kind of listening to YouTube at the same time. If you like listening to music during your games, you could have Spotify up here, or your hardware monitor, or if you're a streamer, you have your gameplay down here, and your OBS or whatever other software you use for streaming. This currently is my favorite way to set up monitors, but in the future, if I find a better way, I'll probably reconfigure it. And you really got to find the configuration that works best for you. And onto a couple of the downsides of this monitor. I did have to nitpick a couple things. First thing I did notice about this monitor, moving from my previous monitor, the previous one was curved, but it was barely curved. This one has a much wider curve to it, and so it does distort some things when I'm working on videos or editing photos. You do notice a little bit of distortion on there, and so I do wish it had less of a curve, honestly, for the times when I'm not gaming. If you're gaming, it's kind of a nice wraparound immersion feeling, but for any other times I'm using the monitors, I kind of wish it was less curved, but it's not that big of a deal because a lot of the things I'm editing, a slight distortion factor isn't a deal breaker for me. If I was a professional like architectural photographer where lines and angles need to be perfect, then yeah, I probably would get a flat monitor. But if that's you out there, I'm sorry, I would recommend getting a flat monitor like this one up top. The other downside with this monitor is the price. If you're looking at a review for this monitor, you probably know what price you're going in for. I was able to score a used one off eBay, and luckily it still worked perfectly fine. They said it was just unboxed, and so I was able to save a couple $100 just because someone else had opened it up and decided they didn't want it. And it works perfectly fine. And unfortunately with 2020, so many people are setting up their home offices. There's not many online deals for used monitors right now. So maybe later in this year or next year would be a good time to get a monitor. I needed to get this one so my fiance could use my old one as her work from home office. So now we're both rocking ultra wide monitors. But that about wraps up this review. Let me know if you have any questions about this monitor down in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you would hit that like and subscribe button, it really helps this channel out. It spreads this video so more people can see it. And there is an Amazon affiliate link below. If you click that button and buy anything from Amazon, it helps this channel out at no additional cost to you. This was not a sponsored video. I was not sent this monitor for free. I was not paid to do this review. I did it because I bought this myself and I do enjoy using it. So I wanted to kind of put my opinions of it out on YouTube. But anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day out there. Make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're washing your hands a lot. It's 2020, you know. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Go Toaster out.